How to shuffle an array in JavaScript? First, we'll need an array. So let R equals an array with 1, 2, and 3. Let's make a function shuffle that takes in an argument R. Inside the function, we'll loop starting from the back of the array, moving to the front, stopping one short of the first element. I'll write the loop out now, then explain why it's this way as it comes up. For let I equals r.length minus 1, I greater than 0, I minus minus. On every run of the loop, we want to generate an index from 0 to the current index we are shuffling at. Meaning, once an item has been shuffled and placed at the current index, we don't want to touch it again. That is why we are looping backwards. Now, to generate the random index, let index equals math.floor of math.random times I plus 1. Let's explain this line from the inside out. Math.random generates a random float from 0 to 1, non-inclusive of 1. Multiplying by just the I would change the range to 0 to I, but it would also not be inclusive of the I. Because we want the range to include the I, we add the 1. Finally, the math.floor part. We just talked about how math.random generates floats. Array indices are integers, so math.floor rounds down to the next smallest integer. Alright, next we are just doing a simple swap. We want to swap the item at the index we are working with the item at the index that we have just randomly generated. To do this, we will use a temp variable. So, const temp equals r sub I. R sub I equals r sub index. Finally, r sub index equals temp. This swapped the two array elements we want to swap. That's the loop. Let's walk through the algorithm for our current array so we can understand this, stopping one short. On the first run of the loop, we are either going to swap the 3 to index 0, 1, or not move it at all and swap it with itself. Then, on to the next iteration. The element at index 1 will either stay put or swap with the element at index 0. Finally, the element at index 0 only has one option, that being to swap with itself. Since swapping with itself means that nothing happens, we skip that step in the loop as it is not needed. Okay, now that we've got all the explaining out of the way, let's shuffle R outside the function. So, shuffle R, then console.log R after we shuffle it. If we run the code, you'll see we have shuffled R. This has been Jakubication. Like and subscribe to learn more.